Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. So I'm going to make this video. I'm going to post this thing. I wanted to make it on TikTok, but my account is currently suspended. So this video is called Why's Cherokee to Go to Tribe. So you're going to see my first video from TikTok, and then you're not going to worry about part 2 because it's processing, but you're going to see everything after that. And part 2 is basically an instruction manual to send everybody on my TikTok page to my YouTube channel of Kung Fu Havoc number 2. I am Echo Fang Grey Wolf. Let us begin.
3 weeks ago, I was afraid of acknowledgement of my Cherokee tribe only because I don't know how or where or what amount of Cherokee I have in me. 2. Cherokee has been the go-to tribe for everybody, black and white in general. So up until a couple of weeks ago, I wasn't sure if we were Cherokee due to the fact that there are no Cherokee tribes in Virginia. There are other tribes here, recognized and non-recognized, and I need to reach out to them. But up until I seen the video about the Trail of Tears, I assumed that Cherokee only came from Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina. And then I seen the Trail of Tears thing and found out that they actually did come out of Virginia, and I'm in the wrong order. They actually come out of Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, all the way down to Georgia, and the Trail of Tears was way bigger than I thought. And it also, all Cherokee tribes were pushed to Oklahoma. I think that's where they were pushed to. I can't remember the video. But because the Cherokee tribes are the go-to tribe, when everybody says they're part Cherokee, 9 out of 10 there's either somebody black or somebody white, and I happen to be mixed with both black and white and Cherokee. So I'm like, okay, because I honestly started looking for Cherokee reservations because I'm trying to find out where my great-grandmother on my father's side came from, where my grandmother on my mother's side was adopted and raised by black people, but we also know that she's part Native American. We're all Native American. We're not really sure how that works. However, I do know, factually, that my great-grandmother on my father's side was Cherokee. But when I started looking for reservations that had Cherokee, there was nothing. When I looked her up in the archives, they had her marked as mulatto because they took away Native Americans' titles. You know, it's like, you're not Native, you're now mulatto. So I was like, okay, that was confusing as fuck. So now I got that solved thanks to whoever posted the Trail of Tears thing, and yes, there's probably going to be a part 2. But for some odd-ass reason, Cherokee was the go-to tribe. Like, if you were white and you said you were part Native, you were always part Cherokee. If you're black and you said you were part Native, you were always part Cherokee. And I'm like, oh shit. So, what the fuck happens next? I also found out that Cherokee is an offset of Iroquois, or Iroquois is an offset of Cherokee. Iroquois is a whole lot harder to pronounce too. It's definitely a whole lot harder to spell. So I'm like, oh, well, what do I do? Because I'm told I was Cherokee. I'm still waiting on answers. Okay, I'm going to try to make this.
Okay. So, here's the thing. If not for the Trail of Tears video, I would be more confused than I am right now. The Trail of Tears video has limited my confusion, but has asked the question of more questions. But we're going to skip that, and we're going to go to what I have experienced. So, growing up, being told I was part Cherokee, okay, part Cherokee. I've watched other people, and I was like, okay, well, there's other Native Americans, but somehow in Virginia, if you are a Native American, you were always part Cherokee. And I would ask people who were mixed, like, oh, I'm part Cherokee. And then if you get into, like, TikTok and everything, someone's always related to a Cherokee princess. And I'm like, just how many goddamn royalties was there in the Cherokee tribe? Which is what brought this up. I've had some heartbreak with a lot of things with, like, Native American stuff. I grew up not knowing that I was part Native until the 5th grade and hating Native Americans. So it's kind of fucked up when you hate what you are until you find out you're actually one. When I was younger, I did a video here about that video I did. I wasn't younger, I was like weeks ago, but in the video when I was younger, it took me a while to find the video. It was Merry Melodies or Looney Tunes, whichever. Tweety and Granny were singing 10 Little Indians. And the Indians were Sylvester the Cat. So she was shooting them, 1, 2, 2 little, 3 little Indians, 4 little, 5, 6 Indians, and they're taking tally marks. I was like, I remember this cartoon. I enjoyed that cartoon until I found out that I was part Native. So now I don't look at that cartoon the same way I did when I was a child. So then someone came across my FYP with Bugs Bunny shooting Native Americans. And this time they were actually people, and Bugs Bunny's shooting them, and he's singing the song, 10 Little Indians, 1, 2, 3 little Indians. Oh, sorry, that was a half-breed. So he marks half the tally mark off. And I about lost my shit. Like, straight up, I about lost my shit. And I know, like, way back in the day, that shit was acceptable. Now, fuck no, that shit is not acceptable. That shit is completely unacceptable. And it's even more unacceptable because when I was a kid, I didn't know I was Native until the 5th grade. And about 30 bars of soap and an ass whooping. But the concept that these fuckers would make this cartoon and Bugs Bunny's pow, pow, pow. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Indians, pow, pow, pow. 4 little, 5 little, 6 little Indians, pow. Hold it. That one was a half-breed. And it threw me back. It literally threw me back to when I was a child. And there was a race war at Burley Moran. And it was before we found out that I was part Native. When black kids and white kids would call me half-breed. It was like, yo, you're a half-breed, yo. You ain't really one of us, you're a half-breed. And this is me translating to what they actually said politely. Because the white people would call me the half N-word. And the black people would call me the half white word, which was, it started with an H. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, damn, that's kind of fucked up. But that's what it was, It's like, James, you're not really one of us because you're one of those hunks. And James, you're not really one of us because you're one of those. And I'm like, oh, fuck me. Well, then I got to the 5th grade, and my 5th grade teacher, Miss Conrad, God rest her soul, pointed out to the fact that I was part Native. And I kept telling her, no, I'm just black and white. And she's like, no, you're part Native. Why don't you ask your mother and your grandmother when you get home? So I asked my mom, and my mom was like, yeah, we're part Native. Now, my mom can be white passing. But that was like one of the things that blew me away because my favorite heroes, first comic book I ever read was Jonah Hex. I read him when I was 3, and he was a cowboy. He had a Native American partner, but I didn't really give 2 shits of interest in him. And then was exposed to a lot of Westerns because my parents loved to watch Westerns. And then mostly Lone Ranger and Tonto, and whenever we played Cowboys and Indians with our friends, we'd always have to argue over who was going to be Lone Ranger, and nobody wanted to be Tonto. And it wasn't until the 5th grade where I didn't play Lone Ranger anymore because I was going to be Tonto. Because I'm part Native. And it would have made sense for me to be Tonto. Now, the thing with that, when you're mixed, the world is different. Way different. Now, back to the subject at hand. So, I'm learning about my Cherokee heritage. I'm still learning at 48 about my Cherokee heritage. But I also noticed that, like, when I went to other places and I asked somebody if they were part Native, it's like, yeah, I'm part Cherokee. I say, hey, me too. And it's kind of like the thing. Yeah, me too. I have met one person who was not part Cherokee. He was white and Cree. And I was like, okay. And so that was cool. My cousin is part Cherokee and part Blackfoot. On my mother's, my cousin R-Dog, his mother's side has Blackfoot on their side and Cherokee on his father's side. But we also have black. So, therefore. But our families, all of our families, did not embrace our native culture. We just embraced the black culture and went off into the world. Now, I think a lot of this was due to self-hatred on ancestors' parts because of, I guess they just didn't want to be natives because they were treated so badly. So, and I am fighting to embrace my native heritage as my cousin R-Dog's son is fighting to embrace our native heritage. And I'm like, well, damn, I got Cherokee on both sides. And my cousin, he has Cherokee and Blackfoot. So I'm a little jealous because he has 2 different natives and I only have 1 native. So I have Cherokee. So, but as I've gotten older, as I've gone on as I've talked to people, Cherokee literally is the go-to race. As I've watched on Facebook and Instagram and other social medias, when people say that they're part Native, the first damn thing they say is my great grandmother or my grandmother or my aunt or my uncle, which somehow we're still kin, is 1/4 Cherokee or 7th degree Cherokee, or she's like this much Cherokee, and I'm like, okay, so I have 3 different ethnicities in me, or races, whatever you want to call it. I have black on both sides, I have Cherokee on both sides, and I have white on one side. So I'm kind of fucked. But I'm still waiting on Ancestry for this blood quantum thing, because this blood quantum thing is like really a waste of time, but I need it so I can apply for Native American citizenship. So that way I can be a dual citizen of America, and if I can get a sovereign nation to accept me, then that's going to solve that problem. Now, the kicker on that is that I would have never gone through any of this had I not met another Native American and black person who insisted that I do this shit. He said, you need to get your blood tested and get your blood quantum and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? It's like, this shows you how much Native you have so you can get Native American benefits or whatever. And I'm like, that's a thing? I didn't know it was a thing. The only rumor I ever heard about Native Americans was like if you were 50% Native or full-blooded Native, that you can go to college for free. I have recently learned that that's probably on the line of bullshit. But, you know, because the only thing that I learned about Natives, really, when I got in the Army is that Natives didn't have to cut their hair. No. I was in my first platoon when we were in processing. The Native American that I was with didn't have to cut his hair. His hair was as long as mine is now. I was like, dude, they shaved me bald. How come they ain't shave you bald? He said, because I'm Native American. Like, full-blood Sioux. So they didn't shave me bald. And like, well, goddamn, I'm part Cherokee. They shaved my black ass bald. No, that was in my pocket. So, believe you me, I will never rock a bald head again. Because I look like Aang, the airbender. Yeah. Doesn't even look like me, right? Maybe this will help. Yeah. So no. I'm never rocking the bald head ever the fuck again. Fuck that shit. So, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm talking to the guy, and he's like all the way from like, where the fuck did he say he was? He was Sioux, so he was either from North Dakota or South Dakota or somewhere in that region. He's like, yeah, man, we don't have to cut our hair if we're Native. And I was like, well, that's fucked up because I'm part Native. He says, yeah, well, here's that thing, man. The military is like a really fucked up ass place. It's like, no fucking shit. So, again, a lot of people did you meet, and again, this has been confirmed through like TikTok and other social medias. Everybody is part Native, and when they're part Native, Cherokee seems to be the go-to race. And I'm thinking to myself, how does this happen? Why is it Cherokee? And I'm like, okay, Cherokee had like 4 states. So now it starts to make a little bit more sense. But there were more tribes than just the Cherokee tribe. I mean, you had the Seminole, you had the Manhattan, you had the Cheyenne, and then you had Apaches and other things that were forced from the west side to the east side, while the east was forced into the middle, where Oklahoma is. And I'm like, how in the hell does this work? What was they like playing Scramble the Tribes or whatever? And then you have some tribes that like didn't really have to move. Because I think Cheyenne is like Louisiana to Texas, and Apache was like Texas, New Mexico, Nevada, some other shit. But there were also Hopi and other offset tribes there. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck? So every time you meet somebody and they're part Native, somehow or another, they're always part Cherokee. And then I was like, all right, when you watch Native TikTok, there are a lot of people who talk on there and say, yeah, they got to arguing with some non-native people or some white people, and they say that they are part native, but they're kin to a Cherokee princess. Somebody on their family was a Cherokee princess, and I was like, it's funny because the English colonizers or whatever didn't count native royalty. They didn't count the Powhatan royalty. They didn't count the Sioux, the anything East Coast. They didn't count any of that royalty, not the Seminole, not anything. Then I was like, how the hell does this work if everybody and their mama is kin to a Cherokee princess? But yeah, it was like I'm like, okay, how big is the Cherokee Nation? And then I started doing research. Iroquois and Cherokee are basically one and the same. So I'm like, okay, so which one are we? Are we Iroquois? Are we Cherokee? And apparently there was a split. And I think most other people got Cherokee versus Iroquois. But Iroquois is harder to spell. It's also harder to pronounce. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, how in the fuck does this happen? You know? And then when you do your research, you're like, okay, well, Cherokee, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and then moved to Oklahoma. Trail of Tears. And up until then, I was like, no way with Cherokee, because there was no Cherokee stuff in Virginia. After seeing the Trail of Tears, yeah, I'm all fucked up. Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. Moved them to Oklahoma. And I'm like, well, damn. And Cherokee tribe was one of the first tribes that actually had a government system. But other tribes all had government systems, so there was not a tribe that didn't have a government system of bartering and trading and stuff like that. But somehow or another, anywhere on the East Coast, you can find someone, whether they're white or black, kin to a Cherokee princess. I am not kin to a Cherokee princess, though my grandmother was a Cherokee. They have her mixed as mulatto on her birth certificate when I went to the library to find her. Hopefully that was the right one, Ada Wallace Ford. So, she was in the Richmond area in the Powell Height, but they have her listed as mulatto. Because back then they didn't have, Cherokee on the birth certificate and stuff, and they just started taking names and taking titles and just started throwing it off. But she was Cherokee. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, now my birth certificate has me under a black man. But clearly I am mixed. And clearly it is native. But again, I'm waiting on Ancestry for this blood quantum crap. And I'm going to have to go to CRI next to see. I gotta price it to see how much it costs. If it's like 70 something bucks, I'll see if I have money in the credit union to deal with that, and then that's gonna be that. Any fucking how, everybody is kin to a Cherokee princess, and I still haven't figured out how. I still don't know why, but for some strange ass reason, Cherokee is the go-to tribe. Whether you were black, whether you were white. I have not met anyone who is like Filipino and native other than on TikTok. I have not met anybody who's Chinese and native other than on TikTok. But I'm pretty sure that if they are mixed with native, then it's probably somebody's gonna tell me, oh well, I'm Cherokee and Chinese. And I'm like, okay. If I meet a person who's Cherokee and Chinese, I will let y'all know. Because that's going to blow my fucking mind. And I'm going to have to make a video about it. That being said, this is Kung Fu Epic number 2. I am Echo Fang Grey Wolf, and I have to go walk the dogs. So I will thank you, and I will return with a prep show and another show. And that'll pretty much be it. Thank you guys for watching. Kung Fu Epic number 2. Be seeing you. If I can find this cursor thing.